We who lead worship should not expect to be above criticism. I want to speak for a moment about protest in worship. You know, where somebody leads a group of protesters into a place of worship and protests the leadership of that worship. And the worshippers are incensed and they promise retribution. Some of you might have seen the news reports from St. Paul in Minnesota, in Minneapolis. A group of protesters invaded a morning service, protesting the fact that the pastor of the church worked for Immigration Services. Not only that, that he had posted approvingly of the work that ICE was doing. And the protesters were outraged that a pastor should so actively support Immigration Services. Those in the church are outraged that their worship should have been disrupted. And I do believe the Attorney General of the US has threatened that there will be legal action. But the incident that I quoted from is not in St. Paul. The incident I quoted from is 2,000 years older. You might remember that Jesus led a group of protesters into the temple. Jesus leading a protest action against the way the temple leaders were misleading the people. And the temple leaders threatening to take action against Jesus. We're told that they then met privately and plotted against him, tried to figure a way to do away with Jesus. My name is Pastor Pete. I too have had experience of people disrupting services of worship that I've led, and I will admit it's deeply unsettling. Now, there have been many comments about what happened in St. Paul, but I do have this one thought to add. We who lead worship should not expect to be above criticism. We should not expect to be insulated against public opinion for our actions. We who give witness to our faith cannot claim some kind of civil immunity merely because we are pastors. I come from a Methodist background. It's a background of John and Charles Wesley, who led open-air meetings and camp meetings that welcomed everyone, both the religious and the irreligious, both those who admired them and those who tried to shout them down. In fact, there's that one infamous moment where people literally drove a bull through the crowd while John Wesley was preaching. So let us be willing to rub shoulders with those who protest our faith. If we have a faith worth sharing, then the cynics and the doubters and the antagonists will be convinced by our faith because we show love and compassion. Let's all become a little less precious about our religious gatherings and worry more about being obedient to Jesus in feeding the poor and in protecting the alien and in welcoming the stranger and in showing love and compassion for those who have fled awful horrors and are seeking some space to be sheltered. Think about it. And my t-shirt for today is the Minnesota Twins and a reminder to pray for the people of Minneapolis. God bless you.